Hey guys, it's Michael Levine. Today I want to talk to you about a couple of behaviors that I see on social media that need to stop. Firstly, client list closed, not taking new clients, that sort of thing, which people are using on their Instagram and their social media, almost as if they're bragging. And it's just kind of so dumb because I'm assuming this behavior is coming from chair renters and independent hairdressers. No issues with independent hairdressers and chair renters. The problem is, though, independent stylists and chair renters are taking their cues from other independent stylists and chair renters. And I got to tell you this, guys. Most of these people actually don't know anything about business. Most salon owners don't know anything about business, let alone most independent stylists. You're very often you're taking cues from somebody who's never really had business guidance and they've been really successful. There's a very big difference between a successful hairdresser behind the chair and a business person. When you're running your own business, you have way more responsibility than you would ever have as a hairdresser. Usually people who go to booth rent, it's this weird kind of thing where I'm an independent business person, I'm an entrepreneur, but it's usually that they're trying to do as little as possible. That's usually what it is, and they want their own rules. Stop taking your cues from other chair renters. Start taking your cues from successful salon owners who actually know what they're doing, because now that you have your chair, you are a micro salon. I mean, every chair in the industry is a micro salon. But now that you've taken yourself away from having the mentorship and the guidance of a hair salon owner, you should be looking to successful salon owners as your mentors now. So instead of you looking at ex stylist who is an independent stylist who is constantly posting the virtues of independence and hashtags and lovely little inspirational memes and quotes, you should be looking at Van Council and saying, well, maybe my little micro chair, if I look to this guy who has 5 salons and 150 staff and, generates, I don't know, random number, maybe he should be the guy that I look at as my inspiration, as opposed to that hairdresser who's making 14 grand a month. You see that person who now on their Instagram page is saying no longer taking new clients, and you think that's something to aspire to. That's not something to aspire to. That's terrible business. You would never see a salon owner do that. Yet you're calling yourself a salon owner in your salon suite or your single chair. Here's what you should be doing. You should be looking to get 2 chairs in your salon suite and then hiring an assistant once the 1 chair is booked. And it doesn't mean that you need to run yourself ragged, but what it does mean is you get an assistant to do the work that you don't need to do. The chances are you can get an assistant to give your client a much better shampoo than you can give them because you have this help and your back no longer hurts because you're not doing the back-breaking work. Hire somebody else to do the back-breaking work and increase your capacity. Because remember, Robert Cromians told us years ago, you either charge more or you do more. So that's how you do more, and you allow more bodies into your chair. Now, if you don't want to do more, if you want to just keep your chair kind of calm and you like to spend as much time as possible with each client, you're doing, 90-minute haircuts and 4-hour haircut colors, and you only want to do 2 or 3 people a day, raise your prices. That's what you need to do. You don't ever stop taking new clients. As soon as you do that, you've taken yourself out of the game. And I'm going to pick another random number here. There's 5,000 hairdressers a day in North America entering the industry, coming out of hairdressing school, and they want your clientele. And as soon as you say you're no longer available, well, guess what? There's 10 new hot shit hairdressers who are hungry and ready to go, and they're going to undercut you in price. They're going to be just as good hairdressers as you, because let's face it, come on guys, there's like a million of us doing pretty much the same quality work. There's really not that many people who are really truly spectacularly amazing. A lot of what we do is marketing, and there's a lot of really successful people who kind of suck too. So let's face it, the clients can get what you give in a lot of different places. You're not the end of hairdressing, okay? Very few of us are. What's going to happen in 5 years when your clientele starts to dwindle and you've taken yourself out of the game and you're no longer taking new clients? All of a sudden you're like, oh, well, shit, I need to take new clients again. You open up your client list thinking it's going to be a big deal, but guess what? You've missed the boat. Your ship has sailed. Never take yourself out. Keep raising your prices. And if you say, Michael, I raised my prices just 3 months ago and I'm still just as booked. Well, guess what? You didn't raise them enough. Raise your prices $50 a year. If you've closed your client list and you're not charging $400 for a haircut, there's something wrong with you. You do not see the big picture of business. Let me paint this picture for you. You're going to be old. You are going to be an old hairdresser one day. And if your business is behind the chair, if you see your business behind the chair, you're going to get old. What do you want you as a 50-year-old hairdresser, what do you want your existence to look like? Do you want your current clientele to age with you and have no new blood in your chair? Because that's what you're setting yourself up for. And honestly, those people are going to move, die off, get married, go elsewhere, decide that you're too expensive, decide you're a pain in the ass to get into. They're going to leave you. If you are not constantly replenishing people, if you are not constantly having demand, hell, this is the simplest thing in the world. As soon as you've closed your appointment book, there is no demand for you anymore. You've taken yourself out of it, and this industry is constantly evolving, and there's constantly new blood getting into it. You never, ever take yourself out of business. No business ever would. So this is what the danger in taking your cues from other independent hairdressers is most of them, no offense, independent hairdressers, love what you're doing, and I get it. Most of you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't mean you're not a great hairdresser, but most of you actually don't understand how to run a business, because a true business person would never, ever stop taking new business. Okay? Now, if your plan is to work for a product company and to limit your clientele, that's a different story. If you're saying, I want to decrease my hours behind the chair, totally different story, because instead of your clientele dwindling off, you're dwindling off. And that's totally fine, and that makes sense. If that's what your game plan is and somebody's paying you big bucks to teach classes, great. Go right ahead and continue on doing that, and you're on a different path. But I'm talking to hairdressers right now. All mad props to those people who are getting paid big bucks to go teach private classes or to make appearances at hair shows. I wish I did. I think I do okay, actually. I got nothing to complain about. I do all right. So that's one thing. And actually, that's a great segue into my next thing. This is the other thing that needs to stop. Oh, it's so exciting to have some company give you a shout out and send you some free product. Spend your own money and have some integrity. Here's where this comes from, and I've seen quite a bit of this. I just saw a girl post a picture of some gorgeous hair. She does great hair. I'm not naming names, so don't ask. I saw this girl, she posted some great hair, and then she wrote, couldn't have done this without my ex comb. I want to throw up. She couldn't have created this work or image without a comb. I wish I had a comb to hold up to be more dramatic, because it is so ludicrous and insane. Here's what's happening, guys. There's one of two things happening in that sentence that she wrote. Couldn't have done it without. One, she's lying. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a dirty liar, and I'm posting this, and I'm a liar. Like, how can you look in the mirror, knowing that you're full of shit? You know, now all of a sudden you're the slap chop guy, you're the ShamWow guy. You're being a total whore for a product company, and generally not for very much either. Those guys probably aren't sending you $5,000 a month. They're probably sending you some free products and a few $100 maybe if you're lucky. Let's even that they're sending you $1,000. Well, how important is that to you? How much more important is that to you than your integrity? To tell people that you could not have done the work without this tool. That's insane. So you're a liar. Or if you're not a liar, you're kind of stupid. And that means that you truly think that you are not capable of doing good hair without the product behind you. Understand this. I always say, I always talk about being on a desert island. I need a Denman brush. And it doesn't have to be a Denman brush, because Denman just changed the shape of their brush. I really like a Denman brush. It really helps me do my work. I could use a Vest brush. I could use any of the knockoffs of a Denman brush. I could use any brush under the sun that is in a similar shape to a Denman brush and get very similar results. But I like a Denman brush, so I'm going to say this is my desert island brush. I also have a desert island product that if I was on a desert island, this is the one thing I need. but I don't actually need it. Because if I'm on a desert island, I'll make your hair look good with a sharp rock and a coconut. Because I'm a good hairdresser and I believe in myself. And product companies want you to think you suck without them. Color companies want you to think that you could never achieve the colors without them. And then when you believe that and you put it out there and say, I could never have done this, that's what they want. They want you to feel like they want you to be stupid, guys. And you're not stupid. I hope you're not stupid. Because if you think you couldn't do the work without these companies behind you, or this tool, or this comb, for God's sakes, you're stupid. Don't be stupid. The work is here, guys. It's in your hands and it's in your brain. And if it's not in your hands and your brain and you rely on a tool, then you suck. And you shouldn't be bragging about how much you suck. So chances are you're mostly just lying. And that's gross, and you're leaving a negative stain on the industry over some nonsense, over some trinkets. How badly did you need your ego fed? There's nothing wrong with saying, I love this tool. It helps me be more efficient. It helps me get the job done faster. It feels good in my hand. It's a quality tool. I love it for these reasons. Nothing wrong with that. Don't ever say that this stuff makes you a better hairdresser. Integrity. First of all, if you're going to be a business person, think like a business person. Big picture. It pisses me off when people say, oh, I'm an independent business person. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur because you're a chair renter and you have one chair. No, you're not an entrepreneur unless you are constantly looking to figure out how to grow that business and push it forward. Otherwise, you're not an entrepreneur. In business, you're either growing or you're dying. So which one are you? Because it can only be one. There's no middle of the road, because if you're in the middle of the road, you're already dying and you just don't know it yet. Secondly, look in the mirror and say, is it really worth my integrity? These people should be coming to me. I have no problem endorsing the product that I love, but don't say you couldn't do the work without them. Cool? Hit that subscribe button, friends. Have a wonderful day. I'm just a boy with a new haircut, and that's a pretty nice haircut. Charge it like a puzzle. Hit me when